Hello everyone. I'm making this tutorial for anyone that would like to VJ here in the desert or elsewhere in the future. The controls you see here are similar to what you find in the Core or our other clubs that the VJs use, but it's quite similar. First, there's the DJ controls, which you can't do too much with yet, but there is this music player here. You just enter your URL. Then press this arrow key, it'll load. And yeah, that's pretty simple to use, I think. On the other side here, we have all the VJ controls. On the left, this is the post-processing or colors. It's like the different color schemes. In the middle controls, you'll find 3D animations, skyboxes, and audio link shaders. And on the right, we have our particle board. Okay, let's go back to the controls on the left. The way this works is you have these buttons to go through different pages. And as you click it, you can see the colors are changing. But only you can see it, not anybody else. You can see the Go button is blinking. That means that it's a preview. These colors will look different sometimes depending on what else is playing, because some of the other effects have their own post-processing attached to it. They sometimes replace each other. Other times they might overlap if they have different functions that are active. So anyways, you can send it to everybody else. And if you want to go back to the original colors, you just press go again when it's on page 0. Or you can press this FX reset button, which resets the effects from all 3 boards. There's some more individual reset buttons I will show you yet too. There's also an emergency reset button. For that, you press the right control button on your keyboard. I think it's set so only the VJ should be able to use it, but I haven't tested it thoroughly. We've only needed to use this reset button once or twice in the past. That's like for if the effects make everything go dark and you can't find the controls, then you just go to your keyboard, right control, and that should set you back to 0. And then on the left, there's the break logo button. That's just to switch the large logo from English to Japanese. On the center board, we have 3D, skybox, and audio link shaders. These are the audio reactive ones. So for the way it works here is you choose a category, and then there is a bunch of pages of selections. So there's 1, 2, then normally there's a few different groups of 3D effects. Here there's just 1, and I think there's 9 pages. Yeah. Oh, that's the echidna from below. So there's some animals here. Snail. And then there's some different trippy 3D effects. I won't go into a lot of detail about what's available in these categories, but I will say that some are heavier to process than others. So for example, most of the skyboxes are shader toys, which might not run well on some slower GPUs, so you'll want to be careful, especially if not everybody in attendance has the latest and greatest gear. Same with some of the audio link shaders. Those are mostly presets I made using the powerful June shader, often combined with other post-processing stuff as well. Sometimes they'll work great combined with various animations and particles. Other times something will clash in some way that you'll feel it start lagging, so watch out for that. When you press go for any effect on this board, it first resets every other 3D animation and skybox before sending out the new one. That way they don't overlap, except for the audio link shaders. Those can go over top the rest. I did add these individual reset buttons for audio link, 3D, and skybox if you just want to remove one of them. Okay, onto the particle board. Here's the power button. And the reset particles is right above it. And so now you have group A and group B. Usually there's a third one, and each category, each group usually has a bunch more, but there's still quite a few options. So let's choose group A, and then, yeah, you'll see page 3, 4, 7. I just removed a few of them to keep it smaller. So the way it works is you press one of these tabs once to preview it. So that's an explosion. If you want to activate it for everyone, you press it again, and it stops blinking. And then they can see it. If you press it once more, it turns off. The center circle is also reset, but just for the previews. So the preview is off, but if you've set it for everybody. Oh, it's a bit finicky, that one. Let's try a different one. Yeah, this is still a work in progress, so I've tried to make it easier to press buttons, but some of them might be a little bit touchy. So now the center button doesn't reset it, but if you just press it again, or you press this reset button, this one will turn off all the particles. If you just press this a third time, it'll just turn off the one you just set. That one's behind us. Reset. You can have as many particles going on at once. I would be careful not to go overboard because you can still make people lag with particles pretty easy, but sometimes it's fun to have a bunch on at once. So I think we've gone over the basics. It's not too complicated to learn to use it, but to master it as well as Zarin or Frank or Theo have, that takes some skill. I created the presets, but then they layer things together in ways I don't even recognize sometimes. I'm not as good at live VJing as they are. I have to figure everything out in advance, which can take forever, but it can be fun to trigger everything in real time. Although depending on everyone's location in the world, in relation to the VRChat servers, there will be some amount of delay from when you press the go button and when they see it. So if you want to have something land on a drop, it can help to trigger it slightly early. And that way it'll be a little bit closer to when you intend them to see it. I hope I didn't forget anything. This system is still being improved all the time. And I have to keep replacing things so the visuals don't feel too repetitive. Even though this is only roughly a third of what's available for the VJs of our shows, there's a ton of possible combinations you can try. So if you come up with anything cool, please let me know.